Last night, in a televised interview with Citizen TV, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said the office of the Deputy President in Kenya appears jinxed. Gachagua, in a hard-hitting statement targeting his boss, President William Ruto, and which confirms the growing rift between them, gave instances showing mistreatment by President's allies, including being removed from a WhatsApp group. And as this report comes to you, Gachagua told the media house that only President Ruto was able to put his house in order. As the country continues to be treated to the push and pull in the Kenya Kwanza administration 2 years since they took power, DP Rigathi Gachagua seems to be going bare-knuckle with those in President's camp whom he accuses of disrespecting and undermining his office. He was speaking to Citizen TV.
I am not a mystical person. I'm a Christian and a very true believer. But I think it looks like there is a jinx around this office of the Deputy President. And President William Ruto had a very rough time with the President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Right.
But luckily for him, he had 5 years to work and work very well without any disturbance.
The DP urged his boss to be a man of his words and ended the infighting in the ruling coalition.
But there's one promise he gave to the people of Kenya that requires no finance. It requires nothing. It requires him to be a gentleman and keep that promise. The promise he gave the people of Kenya, that under his presidency, his deputy will not be abused. His deputy will not be disrespected.
Gachagua also asked the head of state to put his house in order and ensure errant MPs are dealt with.
I have asked him to put his house in order. So I believe he'll put his house in order because what is going on is not sustainable. It is not right.
On the ongoing debate on who is the Mount Kenya spokesperson, Gachagua shocked many by declaring it is former President Uhuru Kenyatta, a man he has in the past waged war against.
A Mount Kenya king does not pronounce himself twice on a matter. Our son, President Uhuru Kenyatta, had pronounced himself on this matter. So that pronouncement carries the day. Uhuru Kenyatta is the undisputed king of the mountain. You know what happens with our community? We are a very interesting community. We don't fight. We fight very rarely, and when we do, when we realize we fought without a good reason, we patch up.
And tonight, the hot political debate generated by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his place in the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition forms part of our big key tonight, where we ask you, should Gachagua resign as Deputy President owing to his differences with President Ruto? I ask again, should Gachagua resign as Deputy President owing to his differences with President Ruto? Send your yes or no answer followed by a comment on our toll-free number 22151, or feel free to tag us on X using the hashtag WeekendPrime, at Dennis Aseto, at KTN News KE on X, and we will sample some of your responses and read them in the course of this bulletin. Our question tonight: should Rigathi Gachagua resign as Deputy President owing to his differences with President Ruto? That is our question tonight. We shall be sampling that in this bulletin. But before that, we continue with the bulletin on matters arising. And on the Sunday Standard tomorrow, we ask, is it all downhill for Ruto and Rigathi? That shall be coming to you on the top page of Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard, that including the double-edged sword of Kenyan workers, those planning to go outside the country, that is the German flag there. And Safaricom Farm gets 100 billion shillings health system deal. These are some of the stories that we shall be following up for you tomorrow. Our headline tomorrow is it all downhill for Ruto and Rigathi? Be sure to get yourself a copy of the bold newspaper, The Sunday Standard. Now, experts argue that clinical trials